What's up, YouTube? Matt Yari here, coming at you with that stream of consciousness content, coming straight from the heart with it. That's really what I'm after here, is to speak my truth, express my soul, whatever this body wants to say. I don't really know what that is yet. I'm working on being in the moment and feeling what I'm feeling and just expressing whatever comes out. Not thinking and trying to plan. You know, it's funny, right before I hit record, I was thinking about, oh, maybe I'll talk about this, maybe I'll talk about that. What's going to be my big topic? And I really want to get away from that. I really want to stay present and just allow the universe, whatever it is, just allow whatever it is that comes up in the moment. Let it happen, because too often when you try to plan things, you want to control it. You're coming from a place of control. I want to have this very specific outcome. And I think there's a tremendous amount. I think that has utility. It's certainly important, obviously, to make plans. But I also think it's very important to make space to not be in control, to be more in a flow state. Honestly, that's what that is. If you are trying to control the outcome, then you're not in flow state, because you're thinking too much, you're planning too much. And so that's what I'm doing here right now. I'm just trying to flow here in my car as I drive around metropolitan Detroit. Oops, I just gave up my location. Come find me. You could probably look me up if you really wanted to. All my, handful of viewers. So it's been a good day. I feel good. Went to jiu-jitsu today. I tell you, I've talked about it before, but I really feel like doing sets of burpees across the day has drastically changed my body. I feel like my body is recovering a lot faster. I had a tough, not that tough, but I went to jiu-jitsu last night, and then I went again today, and a lot of times my body would be real beat up afterwards, like I'd be sore and tight and everything. And ever since I started the habit of getting these little mini workouts spread across the day, I find my body is better at recovering from those things. I try to do at least a set of burpees after jiu-jitsu, maybe not immediately after, but like an hour afterwards, or a couple hours, whatever that is. And so yeah. What else? We'll talk about weight loss a little bit. I've been frustrated because my weight hasn't been coming down as fast as I want it to. And, well, let's start with this. About a year ago, I weighed, in the low 240s. And then for like 6 months from the winter to the spring, I lost 20 pounds. And I felt great. And I was proud of that. And then my weight was pretty stable. In the low 220s, I was on average like 223 on a day-to-day basis. And then a couple months ago, I got hurt my shoulder, and that really threw me off my routine. And I put all that freaking weight on that I worked so hard to take off. And so I was back up at the same weight I was a year ago. But, I can only take accountability for that. That's my fault. It's my fault for eating poorly. And so there's a phrase, you got to get better the same way you got sick. I think that's a pool term. I just fucked up. Oh, yeah. Gonna get in an accident in the middle of my YouTube content creation. You just witnessed driving genius, whatever that was. What was I talking about? Okay, lost weight, put it all back on. And I recently watched a video by Alex Hormozi where he talks about mental toughness. And he breaks down, like, what is mental toughness? It's basically how you react to, a negative stimulus. Like something happens to you that upsets you, throws you off. Like that injury was the perfect example, right? I didn't want to be injured, and it severely diminished my ability to stay active. And after that injury, I started putting the weight on because I started eating like crap. I hadn't been eating super well over the summer, to be perfectly honest. But once that injury happened, I started eating even worse. Wasn't exercising like I should. And it took me too long to recover, like get back to my baseline. So that was a really bad explanation of what Hormozi talks about. He said there's 4 aspects to mental toughness. It's how resilient are you to, like, negative stimulation, right? If somebody just makes a mean comment to you and that really throws you off, then you have very little resilience. Whereas, on a more extreme example would be, let's say, a loved one dies. It's like the most extreme thing that's going to really throw you off of your baseline behavior. So something bad happens and throws you off your routine. How resilient, like how bad does the thing have to be until it throws you off? And then there's a degree, like how badly does it throw you off? Is it like, maybe you're not eating well, or are you starting to do hard drugs and doing crazy stuff? How much does it change your behavior for your baseline, this bad thing that happens to you? And then there's an aspect of time. How long are you off of your baseline of behavior? Does it take you a couple days to recover from a negative event, or a couple months or years? And then the last aspect is, where is your new baseline after the whole, the whole process? And so as an example, right, that shoulder injury was a negative thing that occurred, and then it threw me off my baseline because I couldn't work out, and then to make it worse, I started eating even worse. And then, I did that for a couple months, which probably shouldn't have. Definitely shouldn't have. And then, so that's how long it took. But now that I've sort of, recovered from that whole thing, I would say I'm at least as good of a place, if not better, than where I was before the injury. I think as far as my habits, pretty good. And, how can I improve each one of these metrics? How can I recover quicker? How can I engage in even better behavior? I would say definitely better behavior. I've changed a lot of things. So, yeah. And then I started talking about consciousness, flow state, mental toughness. Random words coming out of my face. Look at how red I look in this video. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, I guess that's my video for now. I hope you liked my impromptu flow state mental toughness regurgitating. I basically pulled all that from Alex Hormozi. He's a beast. I've been studying his material. It's been very helpful. I recommend Alex Hormozi. And he was part of the inspiration for me even doing these videos, because he kind of did the same thing. He's like, I'm just going to start doing this, and then we'll see where it ends up in several years. So I started this YouTube journey less than a year ago, and I've been inconsistent with it, but trying to get back into it, trying to be more and more consistent, so here I am with it. And thank you for listening to this stream of consciousness. Love you very much. Have a beautiful day or night.